What's up, everybody? We're here at Georges St-Pierre's private gym. Gonna talk to him about jiu-jitsu, gonna roll with him, check out some techniques. I'm really excited. Okay, let's go check it out.
I don't think it's me who's fighting in a cage. I think right now you're talking to Georges St-Pierre. When I fight in a cage, I'm GSP. GSP is not the same person as Georges St-Pierre. GSP is like the Clark Kent and Superman, you know, like GSP I'm putting a mask. Even though I'm scared and terrified inside, when I'm going to fight, I have to put my poker face and go all in. You know, I have no choice. You know, in order to maintain my lifestyle, I have no choice. So I do it. It's part of my job, and I became very good at it, very successful at it. And I've learned it in the schoolyard with the bully. What I've learned is how I get rid of bully is by putting a mask on me. That's what martial art taught me. I was getting picked on when I was young because I was a kid that lacked a lot of confidence. I was like looking down, shrugging my shoulder, and I looked like a very easy target to the bully. If you look at nature, the lion, the predator will always prey on the easiest prey, you know, the oldest, the one that are sick or weak or injured. And I was the same thing. I was a very easy prey. And what martial art gave me is the confidence. You know, I knew how to defend myself, and also it created more confidence in me. And I knew I needed to put a mask, because when you play poker or you're going to fight, you can't show your weakness, and that's what I've learned. So by changing myself from the inside out, I changed my environment as well.
And I like that as like it's almost like a different kind of self-defense, right?
Yes, and I do the same thing when I'm walking to fight every single time. I act like it's impossible for me to fail, and I am excited to go in there and to find out how I'm gonna win. But in reality, deep down inside, oh my God, what the hell I'm doing here? But there's a psychological transformation that occurs when you work. We say in English, you fake it until you make it. So I put on a mask. The day of the fight, I put on a mask. Even my trainer, sometimes I wake up with terrible headache. When I fought Nick Diaz, I had a terrible headache. I didn't rehydrate very well. I had a health issue, and my trainer said, "How do you feel?" I said, "I feel great." You know what I mean? I'm putting a mask. I lie to them, and I even lie to myself. And James Lange theory says that you can, from your physique, the way you act, you behave, you can change your psychology, and that's what I use every single time I fight.
So could you speak a little bit more about tips you have for putting on that mask? So you have just saying, like saying positive things,
Yes.
and what else?
So of course, you won't be able to, confidence is a choice. Of course, if you don't put the work, you won't be able to do it. It's the same thing if you have an exam at school and you try to look confident, but you have not studied. It's hard to do it. You need to put on the work. And I know every time I don't cheat, I don't cut corner, I put the work into it. But even though I put the work into it, I'm still nervous. But I know I've prepared the best I could have prepared. So it's the same thing when you have an exam and you study the best you could study. You'll be nervous, but you can put a mask and know that you're going there confident because you know you put the work into it. And that's the same thing. So when I'm going into a fight, I know I put the work into it, so I can put a mask. I win big or I lose big, but I go all in. I don't go halfway. You have to go all in these games. And my trainer always told me, the two most important thing, John Denner said to me, the two most important thing for a fighter is confidence and skill and knowledge. Skill and knowledge, it's one, and confidence, it's two. If you have the skills and knowledge, but you don't have the confidence, it would be the same thing. Let's say you have a lot of money in your bank account, but when it's time to buy something, you don't have access to it. You don't have your credit card to take out the money. So it's useless. If you have all the skills and knowledge, but you don't have the confidence, it's useless. On the other hand too, if you have the confidence, but you don't have the skills and knowledge, that means you have a credit card, but you have $0 in your bank account. So you can't go far either. So you need both. And that's what is very important. Skill, knowledge, and confidence when it makes everything together, when you mix it all together, that's where magic can happen.
Yeah, because I mean, you see those people. You see people in the gym who they're great in the gym, and then in jiu-jitsu competition or MMA fight, there's that break. And so for you, under this system, you say that there's an issue of confidence. There's an issue of you don't have access to your money. You don't have access for some reason. Yeah.
This is it happens very often, and sometimes it's the other way around. There's guys that they're not that good in the gym. Then when they compete, they're like, my God, he's doing much better than I thought. And there's the other type of guy that are very good in the gym. They're kind of bully in the gym, but then when they compete, they're like, man, what the hell happened to this guy? And this is true. That's what makes champion. Champion have the capacity to be good when it counts, when it matters. You know, to be a champion, you need to be good when it matters. At that time, at that location, under those conditions. That's what it is to be champion. Some guy, they just can't turn it on, and that's what makes the difference. Very often is because of psychological problem. You know, they got crushed by the pressure. You know, they felt overwhelmed. The fear is normal to be afraid. Kasamoto used to say to Mike Tyson, I remember, and I use that in my psychological training. He said, fire, it can help you cook your food, you know. It could be your friend, it could be a good thing, but it can also burn you. So fire can be a good thing. Fear could be a good thing. It can elevate you, make you more sharp. Your reaction time, your decision-making time, you'll be on the edge, you'll be faster, you'll be sharper and quicker. However, it could also make you crumble under the pressure. You need to take it for what is good, not for what is bad.
Because sometimes I see people, and I guess they'll be going too far the other way, and they say, oh, I don't care, this doesn't matter. It's no big deal to me. But you're saying that's wrong because you're getting rid of the fire.
Yeah, there's a perfect center. Being too less is not good. Being too more is not good either. There's a perfect center. It's like focus. People think if I'm focusing, I'm gonna arrive 3 hours before my fight and focus, and it's not gonna make you better. It's too much. So being too much focus, that means you're like this. You don't see what's going on because you're here. You don't see anything, you see? You're closed-minded on what is in front of you. So if I'm fighting and I'm too focused, I don't see how much time left there is. I don't hear the instruction of my coaches. I don't see the outside. I don't hear what the other coach is telling to my opponent. Because I always had an advantage. Most of the guys, they speak English. I speak French, and I understand Portuguese as well. So a lot of the Brazilian and the American I fight, I was able to understand what their coach says. And if you're too focused, you're focused on one thing, on your opponent, you forgot what's going on around. And you need to be conscious of your environment. On the other hand, if you're not focused enough, you might lose sense of what is going on, and then you get clipped. So in the perfect zone, you need to be in the perfect zone. Not too much distracted, not too much focus and not too much distracted. Perfect zone. When I fight, every time I competed, I knew exactly where my parent is sitting. I know when they came, of course, the fight. I know where my friend is sitting. I heard my cornerman. I know what the other guys are saying. I know how much time left there is. I know my mind is working, and I'm focused on my opponent. I'm very nervous, and I use all that energy. So some guys, they can't deal with all this pressure. They don't know where to put themselves into this. But that comes with experience, of course, but also that, it comes with, I think it's like a training. You need to do a lot of imagery. It's very important.
Yeah, I'm just talking about that idea of focus. I know when I did my first MMA fight, my coach was yelling at me to breathe because I was too hyper-focused. I was thinking about the situation. I wasn't even breathing. I wasn't relaxing at all. And it's just that example. Because that's the silliest thing. You think obviously you're going to remember to breathe when you get in there, but you get in that state of hyper-focus like you talk about. And you're not listening to anything.
Yes, you need to be able to have be in the perfect zone. Not too much. Too much focus is not good. Too much distracted is not good either. You need to be in the perfect zone. Grab his tricep and I climb to his back here. So first technique, we're in a stance. Very often the opponent reach out to grab the tie, the collar tie. So what I want to do is I turn towards the inside, control the arm, grab his tricep, and I climb to his back here. I got a good grip. If he try to pull his arm, it's very hard for him, and I got a good control over him. So I'm gonna scoop myself in, use a Sumi Gaeshi. Sumi Gaeshi. Then I can come back on top and retain the control. Second technique, we're in a stance. This time I don't want my opponent wait to engage a contact with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step with my first foot inside, and then I'm gonna use my leg forward. I'm gonna change levels as I'm stepping. Crunch the leg. And go for a double leg takedown with the hook. One more time. I'm high level with my opponent. I'm gonna change level, squat down. At the same time, I'm gonna take a step on the outside and I'm gonna hook with my inside leg. Step. Go for a double leg with an inside hook. Kimura half guard bottom. So I'm in a half guard on the bottom. When the person is passing, he's pushing my knee down and he's passing. That's what happened. He can't pass now because my arm is straight. You see, my arm is straight and I'm blocking his way. However, very often what they do in this situation is they take their arm out and they use their knees to free their arm. So you step over, then he can get the position and I'm stuck. Very often that happens. So when the person passes over the knee, I know that. So my arm is straight, very important. My thumb is in line with my arm. So when he tries to use his knee, I'm gonna straddle down. You see, I straddle down my arm. Then I'm gonna take away his head and crank the Kimura. Of course, he's gonna roll on his shoulder. Roll down the other shoulder. Yeah, roll on his shoulder. And now I'm gonna go back to the same exact position I was before with a good Kimura attack. Pass my knee line. He passed my knee line. So I get a Kimura. And when I get a Kimura, we're jammed here. I can't do much and he's on top. So what I do is here, I put my shoelace. But before that, I escape my hips, put my shoelace inside. When I put my shoelace inside, I use my shoelace and my arm to elevate him, to make him roll on his shoulder. So he rolls on his shoulder. Very often now, the danger is that he escapes. So I maintain my arm straight and elevate his elbow. So when he tries to turn towards me, it's impossible. So I can slide my knee in, my foot, then control his wrist and his neck to have a good back attack. Dinner, leg locks, but it don't work well with the gear.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good job. I could really feel the Kimura trap. That was awesome. Yeah, that Kimura spin was great.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. Like, yeah. I would say my favorite attack is Kimura.
And your leg locks too was really cool.
Yeah, leg lock is hard. It's something new that I developed since quite recently. But it's very hard to do with the gi because you can use the gi to climb back on top of your opponent, you know.
But even you kept shooting for like the one-legged X position on me, kept isolating my one leg.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Try my best.
Yeah. No, that was great. Really, really fun.
Thank you for feeding me those beautiful highlight reels.
We try to. I just like to see you hitting those moves that you were teaching all the time, you know, and you see how effective they work when we're sparring. Yeah. It's really cool.
I think in Jiu-Jitsu it's important to train with different level of people that are beginner, but also people more advanced, people that are not as good as you, people that are equal or very same level as you, and also people that are better than you.
Yeah.
Because when you train with people that are not as good as you, sometimes more beginner, you can practice your offense. So new tool, new technique that you've learned, you can practice and try it on these kind of partners. When you train with people that are better than you mostly practice your defense.
Yeah.
And when you train with people the same level as you, that's when you can see if you improve or not. The only thing sometimes is the other guy improve as well as much as you, so you don't see much improvement. But you'll figure out when you enter certain competition. So when you compete, in a sense, you only compete against yourself. You don't wanna do stationary bicycle. You wanna always advance. If you do stationary, you'll see in competition. You know, if you get better, you'll see the result in competition. You know, you might lose last time to a guy in point 10-0, but then this time he beat you 10-5. You're a winner in this case. Even though you lose a match, you're a winner because you got better. So.
Well, that's like you were talking about before. The point of the martial artist is getting better.
Yes.
Right.
And then don't forget that the other guy is getting better as well. So that means your improvement is going at a faster rate than his. So it's a very good news.
Yeah. No, that was great. That was super fun. I learned a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Sure.